everybody. Whoop, whoop. Hello, Facebook land and YouTube land. How are you doing today? Dude, isn't that a cute sign, y'all? I've had this for a while. Hadn't done anything with it, kind of thing. Y'all ever do that? You have something for a while? That's my case here. All right, but we're going to add the rectangle board to it. And we're going to turn it into something amazing. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. Okay, so what we're going to do, as soon as I find it, y'all, I rearranged my work area, moved around some tools. All right, so what I'm going to use is I'm going to use a staple gun. And I'm actually going to use pipe cleaners. Now, normally I would recommend zip ties, but if you choose to use it, well, I'll go ahead and use zip ties and show you what I would do. How about that? I'll just do it that way. Now, this board is definitely more than a 1/4 inch thick, okay? What do you mean without moving, Miss Debbie? I don't understand what you mean by that. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my staple gun and my dots mark where the hole is at. And I'm going to staple gun on my zip ties. I'm going to go this way. Look, let me show you what I'm doing. I'm going to go this way for the center holes to catch 2 of them. So I'm going to put my zip tie this way, which I probably should have just done with the other one. So I'm going to take that out, I hope. Maybe. I doubt I'm going to be able to take that out. So we'll just do that. Now, believe it or not, you can't see it. The staples that I have in my staple gun have teeth on them to grip. There's some serious staples. I get them at Walmart. All right. Make sure when you do this, notice that the head on my zip tie is small enough to go right through the hole on the board. Alright, now the problem with doing this, and we'll solve it after we make the wreath, we're going to go ahead and get prepared to solve it. And I'm going to leave these kind of on at the moment because I don't want to scratch my table. Because when you cut these off, you leave a sharp edge. Alright. And that's a no bueno kind of thing for me. Also, if your board is thick enough, you could probably find some screws with screw heads. I wanted to find some, but I couldn't find any in my house. So we're just going to do that kind of thing and move on. Alright, to solve this problem, I have extra felt laying around the house. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and prepare a backer of felt. So I'll just take another rectangle board. And then that way you can cover the whole back and the zip ties. When we're done. Okay. Well, Miss Debbie, there's several tutorials that I personally did here for Unique in the Creek Christmas wreath. And a lot of people say that I'm slow, precise, and concisive when teaching. You can find those videos at hashtag Make It Like Jackie. There's a whole section of my tutorials. Alright. So just as a little insurance, I'm going to dab some hot glue. Whoop. 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 On those spots. Alright, so we're going to set that aside and roll on. Now I'm going to bring out my pipe cleaners. Alright, so the nice thing about this is what I'm doing again is another, we're going to keep calling these stash busters. Because what we're going to do is we're going to make something pretty amazing with just 3 pipe cleaners. Ha ha ha. Which is just 3 pieces of mesh. Okay? All right. So this is a little tidbits that I have. Kind of why I thought of this project. I love this mesh, but I have just very little tidbits left of it that are taking up space on my shelf. And I mean literally just little tidbits. Let go. All right. So I cut my mesh 20 inches. And we're not going to care about the fray, y'all, because we're going to cover it up. Basically, we're using this mesh to cover the rectangle board to do the rest of our work on it. Okay? So we're just going to ruffle it up. Now, if you don't use a good quality mesh, you might have to use a little bit longer cut. But this is really good mesh, so I don't really need that much. All right, my friends. So see, we got a perfect, like, 3 pieces of mesh do-it-yourself project with a big sign, right? Okay. So up next, we're going to go ahead and make our bow. And the reason we're going to go ahead and make our bow this time is so that we don't use that much material. So we'll go ahead and make our bow and see how much space that covers, and then what we need to do afterwards. So the ribbon that I've chose, I don't know if I've ever shown y'all this. Can y'all see how long this has been on my shelf? Look at the dust. That's what kind of stash I have, y'all. So this is called ticking ribbon, which I think is a really good farmhouse look. And we're just going to use 2 ribbons. Yikes. There it is. I dropped my pen on the floor. Hold on. And a nice farmhouse check style ribbon. Hello, everybody. This is really good quality ribbon, and I cannot remember where I got it from, but I've had it for a while, obviously, because it's got dust on it, right? But I thought since we were doing farmhouse, just 2 simple ribbons would be better than several different colors. Kind of gives it more of a farmhouse look, because farmhouse isn't a lot of color. Farmhouse is more in your grays, tans, you know, things like that. And I'm just going to use 2 loops for the top of my bow, for the center, because I'm going to anticipate putting a flower in the middle. Hey, Angie. Hey, everybody. Yeah, you can go to YouTube if you've lost the link to any designer that you want to use their affiliate link. If you go to YouTube and find your favorite designer on the Unique in the Creek videos, their affiliate link is in their videos as well. Alright, so what I'm going to do is my mesh is a little bit lower, and that's fine, but I'm going to put my bow up just above in these 2 holes. You can also, without using the holes, use your pipe cleaner, but that's another way to secure your bow. I'll show you. So when your bow is finished, the one cool thing about pipe cleaners, they're on top. Especially if you have a great difficulty feeding stuff through the board, using the pipe cleaner, you can take your pipe cleaner and then use that to attach your bow, just like that. And then get your pipe cleaner out of the way. And I'm taking the excess around the bottom of my bow so I don't have any sharp points. And I'm going to give it a little twist. And then just start fluffing your bow. So that's an option, especially if you use pipe cleaners. On a way to attach your bow. I'm a waste not, want not person, so I'm going to go ahead and pull my pipe cleaners through. Then I cut off the excess, and I'm going to just tuck it right back through. And then go about the business of fluffing my bow out. You can see how I attached the sign at the beginning of the video. It'll be available for replay. It's easier that you see it than I explain it. But I didn't glue it. Alright, so you can see that the bow does take up quite a bit of space. And really, honestly, the fact that that it covers up to the coop doesn't bother me, because you can still see the welcome, and to me that's the most important part anyway. Okay? So now we don't need that much other materials. You can leave it as is if you want to. It's perfectly fine to just hang it on the door with the bow. Or you can go the Jackie route. So the Jackie route is going to involve some greenery. All this greenery that I'm using is all leftover. No, it's not Costco ribbon. I'm trying to show you like two different perspectives. You know, a stopping point for those that are less is more people. And then there's people like me that like to put a lot of zhuzh to it. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting these into where there's 4 stems on each. And I'm just going to tie that in with my pipe cleaner. No muss, no fuss. That way we have some greenery sticking out. And also that makes it so that I use up the remainder of this stem. I got a couple of pieces left. I'm going to put that in the bow. So I'm just going to tie this in once again in the pipe cleaner. Thank you, Sonny. I'm glad. That's what I tried to do. Y'all know when I first started making wreaths, I used to use yard signs, and I thought about showing y'all how to use some yard signs, you know, yard stake signs. I used to do that a lot when I first started making wreaths, because I like to make really big, huge wreaths. Alright, so here we have another pick that I have left over from another project. These are perfect because, like, look, I got 2 places to put stuff, 2 stems. So the project kind of works out perfect for me. And my leftovers, right? So what I'm going to do with this stem, I'm going to kind of separate it just a little bit. I'm going to take a part of the stem is going to go in my pipe cleaner to secure it. This part here, I'm going to cut it down just a smidge. Just a little long. And we're going to hot glue this, and I'm going to cram it way under the bow to secure it. We're going to do a 2-factor securing this into the wreath. We're going to do it with hot glue and the pipe cleaner. So like I said, I'm going to go under the bow, like that, and then I'm going to come around these stems to give it a little added support, and I'm going to tie it down, leaving most of the stem free and flexible to bend and design out like that. Okay, and then we're going to come to the other side, let go, and do the same thing again. Okay? Now, we just added 2 picks. You can stop there just with the 2 picks. Look how pretty that is. And you just put 2 picks in, and it's good to go, ready to hang on your door. What do y'all think about that? Isn't that nice? Just as it is, it's nice, but we're going to go a little further because, you know, I don't want to disappoint. People feel like I have to Jackie-fy it, so I have some other. This is all leftovers, so I have some other leftovers. Okay? So I'm going to push these up on the pick just a little bit. Because they're kind of sticking a little far out. And the reason I chose this is, yes, it's a darker red, but this darker red actually goes more with my red. Remember, I tell you, if you can't match your reds perfectly, use a couple different shades. It's okay. If you can't match your pinks perfectly, use a couple of different shades. And then it looks like you did it all on purpose. And the reason I brought a brighter red in, because the flowers that I chose are a bit brighter, so I needed to have some brighter red in the mix. Alright, so now that I pushed my stems up quite a bit, I'm going to cut off a lot. I'm going to leave about 1 inch of stem to cram down into my mesh. Alright. So I've got 2 pieces that are bigger, so I'm going to use those first on the end. Going to lift that up, and I'm really going to cram that down into my mesh to secure it. Yep, the different shades gives it depth. These 2 pieces, we need to show some love down here. We're looking a little scarce, so we're going to go down here to the bottom. I'm going to go way up underneath my bow again. Make sure y'all can get a good view of this. See how these little bitty kind of incorporated in? It doesn't take much to come down here and incorporate that into the... Take a couple little pieces of greenery that I got left over. I'm just going to go ahead and get these off my table, because I already plan on just popping them into my bow to bring some of the greenery into my bow. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that and get it out of the way. And we'll pop some more in there. I might have had these flowers for too long because I can't find a really good looking one on the bunch. They're all pretty flat. I need to revive them. You don't have time for me to show you how to revive it either. Remind me sometime and I'll show y'all how to revive silk flowers. I'm behind here seeing if I can do this really quick with my iron. Hold that thought. My iron's got some really good steam on it, so hold on. I'm trying to blow some steam on it with my iron. All right, with the steam from my iron, I got a couple of them to revive, so yeah, there we go. Okay, but we don't want to use this greenery because this greenery is too bright. Actually, what I typically do, y'all, is I don't use a steamer typically. Typically, I just hold them over a pot of boiling water and use the steam from the boiling water. That's what I typically do. I still haven't got my good clippers back. That's becoming a sore spot, Tina. I use Fixie. I get them on Amazon. when you put your flowers in, you kind of want to lift up some of your greenery. You don't want to hide your greenery, my friends. You want your flower to be a part of it. So kind of in the middle of it. That way it looks more au naturel. And then to balance the adding the flowers out, we're going to put one right in the middle. And I've had this forever. So I think I want to use it to add just a little more hint of greenery in, a little bit more wispiness. But I'm going to cut it down quite a bit. It's got some nice little red flowers on it as well. To add a little bit more of that brighter red in. And then what we're going to do with these little pieces that just have greenery, we'll use that to bring a little bit more greenery into the bow. Like I said, all of this is stuff that I've had for a while. It's all like leftovers I've had from other projects. I think just 2 more pieces, and I'm making sure that I pick ones that have quite a bit of red in it. Because I really want that red flower to pop out. And then I'm going to take some with the red flower and cut them short and put those in the bow. Y'all, some of this stuff is truly old, not available anymore, but there's always something similar that you can find to inspire you. You know, I'm just, you know, doing this to inspire you. It's craft show season, y'all. Okay? And you go to a craft show to make money. So I'm just trying to help you, show you how to use your leftovers, what you got laying around to make another wreath, which is going to make you more money. Like, I know there's some people that do craft shows for a little bit of fun, but obviously it's not fun if you don't make any money, right? Right. And when you're getting the most out of your materials, that's when you really start making money. So that's just kind of what I want to help y'all do. And you can put a bow at the top if you want. I don't particularly want to on this one. It's got a nice metal hanger that came on it. And it's done, y'all. How much quicker does that get with what I had on hand, right? Trying to teach y'all how to kind of like use your imagination with what you have on hand too. Oh, the back. Let's do the back real quick. Now, that's going to be a little bit of a trick. Okay? But what I'm going to do is this part of my wreath so I don't smash it. And y'all aren't going to be able to see that, like, see this. But I'm actually, when I go to put the backing on, I'm going to lay this off the edge of my table. But I'll hold it up for y'all so y'all can see what I'm doing. Because I don't want those zip ties cutting anyone. from where I added the, so normally I'm trying to hold it up with my stomach and tilt it up. So, but normally I would just drop this right off the edge of my work table. That way my design didn't get messed up. And then I'm just gonna really aim, and I'm gonna make sure I put hot glue right over the tip. Of the zip tie to kind of round it too. And then I'm just going to boogie along real quick with the remainder. And then that way that will keep that zip tie from cutting. And scraping a door. And it's ready to go. And it's big and it's beautiful. Anybody got any questions for me? All right, y'all. It's Wednesday, Wednesday, Wednesday. All right, so don't forget, you'll see me next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Y'all have a great rest of the week. All right. And I will see y'all next week. Look at that, isn't it? I'm like, that's real pretty, y'all, with just scraps. Scraps, y'all. I hope I've inspired y'all to take a better look at your scraps, especially if you do craft shows. Y'all know what I mean? And that way you can make more money. All right. See y'all next time. Bye, y'all.